Hey everyone, day 52, kind of an odd update. One of our cold DMs that we sent like weeks ago at this point got back to us. I said, hey, is Wunderlist running your ads or marketing too, or did they just do your site? He says, they just did my branding and website. I actually have not done any marketing at all so far. I said, cool, man. Well, I don't want to waste your time if you're all booked up, but if you're looking for more patience, we can chat and I can give you a playbook. I thought that was a relatively low stakes little offer there, and, not even necessarily pitching a meeting, just seeing if it's even worth talking to, because a lot of these guys are just booked out way in advance. And then because I'm super curious, I said, by the way, was my message in hidden? I just find the ratio of responses that we've gotten has been crazy low given how personalized these messages are, All right, reporting live from the editing station, we got a response. He says the message was in hidden. Not surprising. So I said, good to know. LOL, that's frustrating. If you're flooded and can't benefit from more reach, let me know and I'll leave you be. But I found some areas in your practice's business profile that could use some improvement. Would you be available anytime Friday afternoon to chat? So bit of a weak pitch, but we got hit with the cold hands of the seen notification, seen 1 hour ago. So a little rough, but nothing can stop us. So it is what it is. And then on another note today, the guy, I forget however many days ago, who I had a meeting with that I thought went super well that didn't end up closing. I followed up with him because he didn't get back to me when I asked him why he didn't end up working with me. I really think this information would be super useful. It would be great to hear from someone who, I had a meeting with that I thought went well, that, we were laughing and it seemed very, synergistic and organic. And so I followed up with him again today at 2:40. I said, hey, would love to hear why I wasn't a good fit. I take nothing personal. It'd just go a long way to helping me in the future. I'm just hoping to extract some value out of this because, I built this guy a mock-up of a website, which took a little while. We hopped on a 25-minute call and frankly hit it off. So I don't know really why this, I don't know why he's having trouble responding to me about this stuff. But it is what it is. And then on another note, kind of like I was talking about last night, I feel like I've just been in a bit of a motivation slump ever since I've been fulfilling these projects. One of them has been very tedious and just not going super smoothly, which leaves me with very little energy to pursue any kind of outreach. Outreach really takes it out of you. And so when the fulfillment you're doing is so tedious and then you get to graduate from your fulfillment just to do something like arguably more tedious, it feels sometimes like there's a physical barrier between me and focusing, which is obviously like a personal problem, but just updating you guys why, we've been talking about doing outreach for a while now. And I made a video yesterday about how simple this thing really is. I mean, websites are not a complicated pitch. It's not hard to understand. It's really just about doing enough volume and getting in front of the right people because that there's a demand. So it's just about, being visible enough that someone happens to need what you have. It's not going to be the kind of thing where I can make a major value proposition and say, your business is going to 10x and I'm going to make you rich overnight because of my service. It's just kind of, we're fitting a kind of basic business necessity, but doing it at a high level and doing a good job at it and exchanging that for a few $1,000s while we figure out what we're going to do next. Now, the last thing I focused on today is I watched a video about why beautiful websites don't convert. Admittedly, based on what I'm doing, basically making beautiful websites, I was like, oh shit, I'm cooked. So I actually ended up learning a thing or two. I was going with a very basic landing page layout before. I'm going to annotate a screenshot and put it up on the screen so you guys can see what I'm talking about, but just making a basic change to the website. Now, is that a good use of my time right now? Probably not. I probably shouldn't be focusing on my website when admittedly it's time right now to be doing volume, doing outreach, but sometimes the guy's just gotta pretend he's working just to feel good. But yeah, man, truthfully, I'm going to just have to bring myself back into outreach mode. Anyways, just some thoughts for the day. I might be going out of town tomorrow. I don't think we're going to fall off the schedule. I don't think it's going to happen. So anyways, I appreciate y'all for watching. I'm going to just commit to it. I'll see you tomorrow.